EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the old course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and that will be well in advance after our time, Rich. It's just something special. When you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why.
Our featured golfer making the turn. Let's pick up with the action at the 10th. Solid performance so far, holding steady through the middle of the second round.
Starting to earn the nickname Steady Eddie, really.
Good contact, good result. Well, this is the kind of strong wind that will really test a player. In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Second shot, good look at the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Well, at last, a birdie. Hole number 11, the Eden, is really the finest medium-length one-shotter in all of golf, isn't it, Frank?
Well, this hole's been copied by many an architect for the reasons why it's normally very, very difficult to make a hole of this length, or should I say this short, so difficult. But they've managed to do that here at Eden with that Strath bunker in the front and the severe sloping on either side of that bunker.
Oh, that can really be brutal, can it?
It certainly does. And if you have any doubt there, you'll come unstuck at 11.
Early part of his back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Clean this up with a tap. So after all that, it's a bogey. Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right. and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully and well strategic positioned bunkers in the middle of the fairway.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Good looking shot right here. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. That was not a very good read right there. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. Just a couple of feet. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Here at the par 4 13th hole at the old course, Frank, what's the best play, power or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. If you can take those coffins out of play, that's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle, then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of this green.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. This is a good-looking shot. And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Pretty good effort right there. Shouldn't be a problem here. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Frank, the 14th is a big par 5, chance to make a big move, but also possibility of making a big number if you're not careful.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of the out of bounds on the right side, even though it does move to the right. Ideal tee shot is down the right side that gets very close to that, because then that opens up the second shot and keeps that tee shot away from that crop of bunkers called the birdies. There's a big cross bunker up ahead that has to be avoided for the second shot. If you're long enough, you can reach this par 5 and 2, but this green with so many undulations that it is anything other than flat. Second shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Par yesterday, now for birdie. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Could use this one. This is for par. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, the 15th here at the Old Course, just a classic example of links golf, where you might be aiming for something that isn't even on the golf course.
Exactly. There's a nice line there in between the two humps that you can see in front of you off the tee. If you keep looking down, you'll see the church steeple. That's the perfect line for the tee shot. Got to be careful with the second shot coming up. You see the 16th tee and out of bounds to the right of this green, and that little pot bunker that protects the front.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second from an excellent lie. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. In for par. Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks, move forward, better days ahead.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports at the Open Championship, and we are at the home of golf, the Old Course at St. Andrews. And Frank, you know the old course is old when the new course here in St. Andrews is a century old.
But the old course is just a treat to play, or even play an Open Championship on that. The holes have changed in the way in which they're played over the years. For example, some of the short par fours are very drivable by today's great players, but the pot bunkers, how penal they are should you stray off line, they have to be avoided. And of course there's all the little landmarks, whether it be the Old Course Hotel or even the famous Swilcan Bridge as you traverse the 18th hole. There's something at St. Andrews for everybody.
Beautiful looking shot right here.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
On the green, Frank, but might need a pair of binoculars to see the hole.
A long way from the band, you can barely hear the music from that far away.
Pretty long putt right there. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Now to the 374-yard par 4/6, another scoring opportunity.
Just be very careful of the wind conditions here, because that'll affect the strategy off the tee, but bunkers left and right to be avoided.
Good contact, good result. Part of the experience of playing the old course at St. Andrews is not only the history, but also the caddies. Witty, wisecracking caddies. Guy once hit a ball hard left into a gorse bush, and he turned to his caddy and he said, "Is that okay?" And the caddy, little Jimmy, said, "Does it look okay? Hit another one?" Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. Back here at the Open Championship on the 7th hole here at the old course.
Yeah, blind tee shot. This is one hole that really does advantage the long hitter. They can get it very close to this green, but this green has got some amazing undulations in it.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
Well, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now at par.
So a tester from 4 feet. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Pretty good putt, Frank. Just didn't quite read it correctly.
Yeah, would have certainly liked that to go in.
Just a little tap in here. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. And Frank, the Open Championship coming back to the home of golf this summer.
Yeah, and remember, too, the last time it was here, Louis Oosthuizen at the 9th hole, he had no problem driving this par 4. So let's see if you can do the same. If you can carry that last bunker down there, there's every chance that your tee shot can run onto this very flat green. What a great shot. That's an absolute beauty.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid.
Finally, something happens that's good.
That's a nice shot right there. Day 3, and what a tournament this is shaping up to be, Frank.
So the final round, if this is anything to go by, has to just be sensational.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the 144th Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvellous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvellous. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
We've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Even par currently.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, another famous hole, this time the par 311.
Yeah, this hole was made famous by the left bunker, which is called the Hill, where Bobby Jones, when he first played St Andrews, couldn't get the ball out of the bunker, so in the end he actually ripped up his scorecard. A lot's changed since then, but the hole hasn't lost its luster.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, he parted this second nine with a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. And getting ready for the putt. That was just a lousy putt right there. No other way to say it. He needs this for par. Good effort, good par putt. Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully and well strategic positioned bunkers in the middle of the fairway.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. Shouldn't be a problem here. You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Frank, how about the bunkers here at 13? A rather ominous-sounding name.
Yeah, the coffins, and they are that for a reason. If you finish up in there, well, the best you'll probably ever do is make a bogey, unless you're an absolute genius. That'll be avoided, certainly off the tee. If you do, it's still a difficult hole. The second shot, unless you hit a perfect tee shot, will be blind.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Frank, what's the strategy here at the 14th?
If you can't go for this par 5 and 2, Rich, there is another option where you can go left. And I mean left of left. That's down the 4th fairway. That's across the Elysian Fields, as they call it, which is a set of sort of hummocks that run down the middle. And you can find a flat lie there and come across at about a 45-degree angle for your third shot to 14.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, well, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Getting set now over the putt. Not too much and not too little. Perfectly played into the center of the cup. Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot, because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Second shot now from 160 yards. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. So they'll tap in. In for par. And now another par for the 16th, Frank, and another hole where precision off the tee is going to be paramount.
Yeah, the norm of the tee is really to avoid a series of 3 bunkers called the Principal's Nose. I've never really figured out why they're called that, but it's not the place to be, that's for sure. Stay short of those is the safe line, and then a little pop bunker once again in the front left of the screen called the Wig. That's also to be avoided. Another difficult green. Looks a little simpler from the fairway, but miss your mark with the yardage and you'll pay a premium.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So a tester from 4 feet. Frank, where has that been?
Yeah, thank God for small mercies.
Frank, the 17th hole, you can get room service along the way here?
You can. If you flare one right there, you'll also pay a penalty for out of bounds. And so that hamburger better taste good. Better be worth it. A little left of that, a little left of the out of bounds, and you're left with a second shot. That's fairly daunting because you have the road hole bunker to avoid and the road behind the green. Hence the name.
Excellent position and just a huge shot. This is the second shot at the par 4. These are the kind of putts that keep a round going about 10 feet away for par. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Frank, this is really one of the coolest spots in the whole sport. When you tee off at 18, it's as if the entire town of St. Andrews is peering in and looking at you.
Yeah, you've started by the town at the little starter's box, and then you've sort of gone all the way out. Now you're all the way on the back end, and it's almost like your job's been completed. But really, in the game of golf, you just stay.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Birdie try up next. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, continuing to move in the right direction now to 2 under for the championship. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic. Back over to number 7. Been a steady performance so far early in this first round, but at some point, Frank, they need to take steady to spectacular.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Rich, and really sooner rather than later, that's for sure. But, yeah, steady becomes boring if it stays on for too long. Oh, I like that.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Frank, this is obviously a green light situation.
It is, because of the tee shot. A smart layup here gives you the chance to go straight at this flag. Yeah, Rich, the reason why the best players enjoy stroke play so much is that every single shot's going to count, and you can't get away with anything in stroke play.
You have to manage your game, and you have to manage your emotions as well, because it can get away from you in a hurry.
And this one just seems to be moving a little left in the air.
Not too bad. Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. so close. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a 3-shotter like it is for everybody else. What a great shot.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Good chance here. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the Riley golf instructor makes his birdie. Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
Yeah, you could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
Frank, the tee shot was certainly challenging, and this second shot is as well.
Yeah, both the tee shot and the second shot require you to come in from that left side. The green itself angles to the right a little bit. The trouble, as we know, is all on the right side. But this is one of those holes. You can see it on the tee and on the second shot. If you write a 4 down, you're happy.
This is a good-looking shot. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence. Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And we are back at PGA West, getting set to continue the action on the back 9. Beautiful hole here. Rock border that lines the water here at number 10. It's 416 yards. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
He'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Ready to go now on the approach shot here at this par 4 10th. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That would be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
There you have it, Frank. The first round is a wrap. We saw some good golf out there.
It was certainly a fun round to watch. There's a lot of great players in this field. And this is such an exciting venue. I just can't wait to see what happens the rest of the championship.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. It's second round coverage of the California Classic. Well, Frank, how about this 255-yard par 3 sixth?
Yeah, there's a bit of a bailout area, sort of short and left, but the only thing really going in the player's favour, it is a big green, 51 yards in depth. So if you want to sort of do the maths in reverse, 255, take away 50, 205 front, doesn't sound as daunting.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop. safely on the dance floor.
So just a formality here. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green. So it's just a layup. See the bunker down there in the distance? That really is the stop sign. So something that's short of that, but really what I prefer is try and lay up on a nice number. Something that you've got a full shot in, whether that be a 9-iron or an 8-iron or a wedge. You'd like to have a full club in here. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Now we're at the 8th hole here at PGA West in La Quinta, California. 559-yard par 5. Frank, what are the options here?
A good tee shot, you can certainly reach this par 5 and 2. There's a crosswalk that comes across in that vicinity of 330 yards. That's sort of the green light area if you can get it down there. Anything short of that, it becomes very much a three-shotter. But if you can get it close to that crosswork that goes there, then certainly this becomes opportunity knocks.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Second shot. Rich, these winds haven't subsided at all today. It's certainly a tough test out there right now for these players.
They get your attention, don't they, as a player?
They have club selection right now, vital.
You put the ball back in your stance just a little bit?
If you're going to hit it down.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up. It's that sneaky distance.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
So they'll tap in. Got it for par. Frank, the ninth hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
Now the difficult second shot here at the par 4 ninth. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Well, after that, birdie has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
You're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Well, Frank, how about this hole? Par 5 11th at 617 yards.
The goal here is to take all those bunkers down that left side completely out of play. If you can hit it far enough down there, you can get close to this green. But if you do stray a little bit, all of a sudden, well, it's called eternity. You're going to find that this hole will play very long.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
Really? This is that awkward length.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live 3rd round coverage of the California Classic. Well, here we are at the first par 5 of the day, the 5th, 535 yards. Frank, break it down.
It's called double trouble. Reason why, there's the lake on the tee shot on the left side, and then he's reversed it up there on the second shot. He put the lake on the right. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
The green in regulation. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Now has a tie for the lead with that birdie.
And a pep in the stride.
Frank, a long par 3 here at the 6th, 255 yards. Club selection obviously is crucial.
Yeah, and length is very important here. Something that can fly high and land soft is obviously going to make that green play a little bit bigger. If you get a breeze off the right or left to right into, this hole becomes very challenging.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Even with that par, will drop down on the leaderboard.
Time to change gears. Birdie time.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Now the second shot, a short one here at the par 4 7th. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. That birdie will help the cause. Now the second par 5 on this opening 9 here at PGA West. Frank, what are we looking at?
The bunker down the right side gives you that optical illusion because it sort of has that curvy edge to it, plus it sort of moves its way to that right side, and then you notice there's a bunker on the left that sneaks in on the left side. So this isn't just sort of blaze away off the tee. It still requires a good straight tee shot. If you do err a little bit, then you've got to be very cognizant of the bunkers up on the left side as you get closer to the green. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Safely aboard. Trying to make yet another birdie.
That birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
You could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, the tee shot was certainly challenging, and this second shot is as well.
Yeah, both the tee shot and the second shot require you to come in from that left side. The green itself angles to the right a little bit. The trouble, as we know, is all on the right side. But this is one of those holes. You can see it on the tee and on the second shot. If you ride a 4 down, you're happy.
That will be a great look at birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. There's another birdie and another move on that leaderboard. 10 under par for the tournament. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live final round coverage of the California Classic. Frank, what's the best way to make three here at this 389-yard par 4 14?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's two definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play till you finish the hole.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Has 80 yards left.
Rich, too much grass between ball and club face.
Paid a price with the tee ball landing in the rough. Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one no easier than the one he's just hit. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
That's a good par there, Rich.
Par 4 15th measuring in at 468 yards. Good contact, good result. So, Frank, we know that the players petitioned back in the 80s to move the PGA Tour event away from PGA West. It's coming back in 2016. But what did Pete Dye say about golf courses being fair or unfair?
Well, he said it actually. He tried to say it with a chuckle, but he always said that golf's not a fair game. So why build a golf course that's fair?
Do you agree with that?
I do now. I think everything has to align itself together. When you looked at the equipment that the players were using, wooden drivers and balls that spun around, they had trouble on windy days. And these golf courses, they really were brutal. But I think now that the ball goes further, the introduction of the metal-headed driver, the utility clubs, all of those things have made these golf courses really come back into favor again. Look at what Jason Day did in 2015 at the PGA Championship at Whistling Straits on a Pete Dye golf course. That's how you have to play the game now. We have to embrace change.
How difficult is this golf course at PGA West? Well, it was ranked 8th on this year's Golf Digest, America's 20 toughest golf courses. Frank, this could be an exciting and pivotal point in the round, the par 5 16th.
Especially if the player decides to have a go here. If you're going to take it on a direct line, then you've got to carry all of that bunker complex. But then the other thing to realize, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just in the bunker, right? It's worth a go. Either that, hit it down the right side. There's no way you're going to reach this par 5 and 2.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Third shot, looking for a good one. Making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
That's a good par given the situation.
Still tight, still close. Well, well, well. Here we are at the famous Alcatraz.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Surprise, surprise.
I tell you, just when you thought things were going to go the other way.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long. Water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And setting up here in the rough. Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Has his par. And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only in the course today, but all week long.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. And getting ready for the putt.
Now putt for par.
Just 5 feet left. Solid par to remain 1 under. And now over to the 5th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Strong wind here early in the round. How do you think this is going to affect the players, Frank?
Well, they've got to be clever on club selection and the type of shot they want to hit now.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Frank, what's it going to take here on this approach at the par 5?
Well, some people might actually try and bounce it in between those two bunkers and run the ball up on the green, but personally, I'd try and actually take a hybrid or something with a little bit more loft and try and fly the ball. Take those two bunkers out of play.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. Superb shot once again, and only about 15 feet away for a birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Stays at 1 under with that par. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg right, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
Not very good at all right there.
No, I think it's time to sell the clubs, buy a tennis racket.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot. Even if that...
Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to 2.
So this will be the 3rd shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. He'll need to be strong with this. Frank, how about 16 of the 18 holes here at Wolf Creek feature elevated tees?
And that gives you those constant vistas. You've got to take a camera actually when you go and play Wolf Creek, because if you stand on some of these tees, you don't just see the one hole in front of you. You look around and you go, this is amazing how you can put a golf course in this area.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. 1 under for the round. Frank, this is the kind of hole you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one off there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and that wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot, well, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. There's nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left, you pay a very steep price.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in you, Rich.
Just a couple of feet.
It went from bad to worse, and right now, horrible.
What do they say, Frank? Golf spelled backwards is
Flog.
Flog. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front nine.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green.
Should be safely on deck.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Frank, it's just amazing what can be done today. Where you can build golf courses. On the moon? I mean, that's what this looks like here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada.
And obviously it's an experience, too, that has to be played before you can thoroughly enjoy it. Because you just wouldn't think this is possible. If someone said you can come out to the middle of the desert and you're going to play a phenomenal golf course, you'd say it's not possible. But as these holes intertwine around in the canyon area, just wonderful vistas, huge changes in elevations. Really, it's just a fun adventure.
These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot making we're seeing out there today. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy. Second shot. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Nudge this one home, finish it up. He'll take par and move on. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself that. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work. Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
At 24 feet, there'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
So a tester from 4 feet. Good par. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable, and 2, there's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Excellent looking shot here. Good contact, good result. Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Now his third, staring right at the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Now to the 13th hole, and, oh, I don't know, should we just fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that, but then you better find dry land. 350 yards, but as the crow flies, it's probably just a little over 300 yards. I don't know if the mere mortals would really want to flash it across that desert ridge. You probably want to play a little left of it, have a little pitch up the hill, but if you're one of the longer hitters, why not just try it, see if you can, mate.
I'm thinking about 90 yards from here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey, drop shot here at the 13th. Just 5 feet left. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Clean this up with a tap. Too bad. 2 drop shots right there with a double bogey. What a day of golf we saw out there today, Frank. It was a lot of fun.
Wolf Creek is just an amazing experience, Rich. To imagine that they could build a golf course like this, and let alone people could play it and have fun. Every shot's a different experience out there. I doubt you'd ever get another golfing experience anywhere in the world that would come close to this.
Nothing like Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. So for my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, we say so long from Wolf Creek Golf Club. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, calling all the action for today's event. We are here at Wolf Creek Golf Club. It's located in Mesquite, Nevada. Frank, if I didn't know that it was Mesquite, Nevada, I think we landed on the moon and they built the golf course here. This is just mind-boggling.
100 years ago, you couldn't build a golf course like this here. Obviously, all the equipment needed, but in the end, it's wonderful. It's an absolute playground for anyone that sort of loves to play the game. It is desert golf, obviously because of the terrain, but the green oasis that cuts in between is each hole. It just sort of gives you a totally different experience because you keep having to remind yourself you are smack bang in the middle of the desert.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Solid play, heart of the green. Settles in over the putt. That is a solid par putt. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything obviously that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
So look out, this could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Look out, that ball's OB, and that'll be a one-shot penalty. This will be the third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. So, Frank, on this approach shot, really all you can do is try to salvage a bogey.
Yeah, just too many mistakes in the compiling. So if you can get out here with a bogey, in some respects, that's a result.
13 feet away.
Unlucky for some, but very makeable. Really. This is that awkward length.
Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunk on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Safely aboard. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. locked in on the read and the speed. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Now, the start of the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada, or as I like to call it, Mind Blower Golf Club. Frank, everywhere you look, it's just a mind blower. I mean, this one is hard to believe.
Well, this one's also a hard hole, 472 yards off the back tee. The fairway is a little wider than what it looks off the tee because that sort of desert ridge on the right side there, that blocks part of the fairway. So if you can imagine that fairway opens up a bit, then you'll be fine. A good tee shot down here, especially with that elevation there. That sort of shorten the hole up a little bit. 270 yards gets you past all those bunkers on the left side. They'll take those out of play. And once again, a little bit uphill, and you can see the green, it shapes a little bit to the right. So make sure you're aware of where that flag is.
And he's made the green. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Keep the round going, those par putts. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
So just a formality here. Losing a bit of ground now in this tournament with the bogey, falls to 2 over. Don't forget the final round comes your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, so long for now.